Welcome back to another episode of Positive Solutions for Life. I'm your host, Peggy Meyer, and today we're talking about something that completely can change how you walk into the new year. This episode is called New You Before the New Year. Because what if just for a moment we stopped waiting for January 1st to start creating healthy habits and become the person we want to be? What if we didn't wait for the calendar to change? What if we didn't start the year feeling behind, defeated, or frustrated with ourselves? What if instead we walked into the new year already feeling stronger, clearer, healthier, and more confident? That's what today is all about. Every single year, millions of people across the world make health their number one New Year's resolution. Because we all want to feel better, have more energy, lose weight, reduce stress, sleep better, be stronger, be more disciplined. And yet, by mid-January to early February, most of those goals are already abandoned. Why? Because we try to change everything at once instead of starting with small, intentional actions. And here's the truth I really want you to take away from today. Small, consistent actions are the tiny hinges that swing big doors. You don't need a massive overhaul. You need one small shift, and then another, and then another. And all of a sudden, you're living a different, healthier life, a new, healthier version of you. So, why start creating healthy habits before the new year during this crazy busy holiday season? Because you will feel better about yourself. You won't spend December telling yourself, I'll just fix it later. I'll just wait until the new year. You won't walk in to January feeling behind or feeling the weight gain of the holidays. You're going to walk into the new year already taking consistent action, already proud of yourself, already building momentum. You are no longer starting over when the new year comes. You're continuing forward. So, what healthy habits do you want to start? Well, there's a whole lot of them. Getting healthy is not just about physical health. What you eat or how much you exercise, it's part of it. But your health and well-being cover much more than that, including your sleep, mindset, emotions, finances, just to name a few. So I'm going to walk you through a few areas of health like this to jumpstart your brainstorming session. This is not meant to overwhelm you. This is simply just to get you thinking about the different areas of health and what matters most to you right now. Like, start thinking about what is it that you want to improve in your health in different areas. You're not choosing all of these. You're just choosing one place to start. Maybe it is with sleep. Sleep is so foundational for healing, hormones, moods, cravings, immunity, and mental clarity. The quality and quantity of your sleep matters. Some small habits that maybe you could start with is, just creating a simple nighttime routine to help your brain and your body be prepared for rest. That might mean turning off screens 30 to 60 minutes before bed. That might mean reading a book. That might mean going to bed at the same time each night so you can try to shoot for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So, what is it? What is one small change in the sleep category that could change your entire rest of the day when you wake up? So, if you want to focus on getting better sleep, what would you choose to focus on? The second area of health, yes, it's movement and exercise, but it doesn't need to be intense. This could be any types of exercise or movement, like stretching, yoga, Pilates, just walking, cardio, or strength training, maybe a little bit more intensity, maybe a group fitness class, or simply increasing your NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. But you know what I like to call it? I like to call it non-exercise active time. It refers to all the calories you burn from daily movements outside of structured exercise, like walking longer distance, like parking your car further away and walking more, maybe taking the stairs, maybe standing instead of sitting sometimes, your household chores like vacuuming or cleaning the house. It's crucial. All of these little movements add up, and it's really crucial for weight management and overall health because these small activities, they add up significantly to your total daily energy burn. So that means you burn more calories when you're moving more throughout the day. And I don't know if you've heard it, but I've heard it a few times. It hasn't been lately, but sitting is the new smoking. Right? Smoking was, oh, it's bad for your health. Well, sitting is too. So get up and move more. That is just good free medicine for our health, our physical health. So if you want to focus on moving more, what would you choose to focus on? The next category, yes, when we think of health, it is part of nutrition. What do we feed ourselves? What kind of food do we eat? What kind of things do we drink? And I'm not going to go into deep into nutrition here, but again, think small, doable changes. Do you want to eat more mindfully? Eat slower. Maybe eat your protein first or have a salad every day. Using a smaller plate for a smaller portion size. Maybe not going back for seconds. Or maybe stop eating after dinner or at least 3 hours before you go to bed. You don't need a perfect diet here. You just need to eat more intentionally about what it is that you eat, how much you eat, when you eat, all of those things. So if you want to focus on eating better or your nutrition, what would you choose to focus on? And now let's talk mindset for a little bit because this one really changes everything. How do you talk to yourself? You talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody else. So catch your thoughts, write them down a few times a day. Ask yourself, if I talk to a friend the way I'm talking to myself, would I have any friends? I know, for me at least, there are times when I do not talk nicely to myself. And you know what? It is more than I want to admit. When I'm in a bad mood or something didn't go right, there is a string of negative thoughts that spiral out of control and that it gets to the point where sometimes I don't even want to be around myself. Can anyone relate? I know it's not just me. So, what do I do in those situations? What can you do in those times when your negativity is just spiraling out of control? Well, I often turn to prayer. I ask God's help in calming my mind. I often read or listen to something positive. That could be the Bible, a good book, some uplifting music, or even a positive focused podcast like this one. Hint, hint, glad you're listening. Share it with a friend. That you could also do some meditation or some using some positive affirmations. That has also helped me kind of switch my mind. So what you think about really does come about. It becomes the reality that you live. So think more positively. If you want to focus on mindset, what would you choose to focus on? Now let's talk a little bit about emotional health. How many of you live a little disconnected from your emotions and your feelings? I think sometimes we just push them off. So we first need to be aware of how we're feeling. So take a moment right now, take a deep breath, let it out, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Anxious, excited, tired, frustrated, lonely, whatever it is. Start naming what you're feeling because really feelings are just messengers. They're not good or bad. They're information you can use to make healthier choices. So we need to get in touch with our feelings. So sometimes practicing breathing exercises can help, calm you down enough, calm your nervous system down, just calm your brain down, calm your body down, just enough to say, hey, what am I feeling right now? You could also talk to somebody that you trust about how you're feeling. Sometimes all it takes is acknowledgement and recognition. Stop pretending that you're fine when you're not. We know when we're not feeling our best. Just become aware of it, like name the feelings, acknowledge them, acknowledge your emotions, and use it as information to ask for what you really need. Your emotions are not going to go away on their own. They're always going to be there. Your feelings are always going to be there. Figure out what they're trying to tell you and choose an action that will help you become a better version of yourself. So, if you want to focus on your emotional health, what would you choose to focus on? Now, the last one I'm going to talk about today is finances. Yes, 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 yes. Finances are a part of health. Because finances can cause some of the biggest stresses on our mind and body. It causes anxiety, worry, depression, even physical ailments like muscle tension and upset stomachs or ulcers. It can trigger our fight or flight response. Yes, when we ignore or avoid things, that is part of it, and it can really strain our relationships. That's just to name a few. There's a lot of other things that can stress us out because of our finances. So know your numbers. You have to get honest and look at your numbers. What money is coming in? Where is the money going out? Where is it going? What are you spending it on? Create a simple budget. If you need some help with some of this financial stuff, you can go back and listen to some of my episodes. So my one of my latest ones on finances is Bougie on a Budget with the Budget Besties. This was from a few weeks ago, and let them go check it out and let them help you create an easy budget system that works for you. Or you can check out my episode on Women in Wealth with Michelle Taylor if you are wanting to know a little bit more about investing. That is a good episode to check out. And if you're also thinking about, hey, how am I going to track what I'm spending or anything like that, check out my episode with Christine Devane with BrightFin Healthy Spending app. So I'll try to put those in the show notes so you can easily click on those if you are interested in having a healthier finances coming into this next year. You can check out some prior one of my episodes on finances. But peace in finances, having peace with your finances transforms into peace into your life. You'll have that just creates an overflow of peace in other areas of your life. So if you want to focus on your financial health, what would you choose to focus on? So maybe you already know what you want to change next year. That is great. Why not start now? Like, if you already have a New Year's resolution in mind, some goals that you want to hit to be healthier in any area of your life, let's get started now. What have you been thinking about? And if you don't really know right now what you want to focus on, think about what you have been avoiding. What are you getting down on yourself for not doing consistently? So those are some ways to kind of jog your memory on, hey, maybe this is something that I want to tackle this coming year. So in order to kind of simplify that, this is like a 5-step process, right? How to simplify it. Get clear on what you want. So you might have to ask yourself those questions. And then choose one or two simple actions. I mean, I know I gave just some small tidbits for each one of those different health areas. Just choose one or two simple actions that you can be intentional about and be consistent with over the rest of the month. And what I have found is that you need to know why you chose those actions. One is like, oh, that sounds great, but is it going to get you past day 5 when you want to do it, or when it gets you past, that little frustration moment that you had? Knowing your why you want to choose that you have chosen those actions is going to help. And then kind of decide how it's going to fit into your routine. Do you need to pair it with something that you're already doing? Does it need to be a certain time of the day? And maybe get an accountability partner. you know, they just to help you out. Hey, check in with them. Hey, yes, I did this. Yes, or if it's a workout, if it's a health thing, for nutrition, maybe it's finances, find somebody you can check in with to be accountable for those actions you want to take. Remember, it's just one or two things, not 10 things. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for being intentional and being consistent with it. So to start off, this is two of my intentional actions that I'm going to choose to focus on over the next few weeks. And this one does happen to be related to nutrition and food intake, because for me, this is something that between like Thanksgiving or a little before and through the new year is always something that I feel like I struggle with because there's so many good sweets out there. So my two intentional actions are one, closing the kitchen after supper, not eating after 7 o'clock. And the second one is sweets only for special occasions, like a birthday, because we have two birthdays in December, Christmas, or some holiday parties. Why? And this is the intention. Like, I need to know why I chose these because I know eating late disrupts a lot of things in our body, our circadian rhythm, which throws off a whole metabolic system, which can lead to being hungrier, leading to weight gain, digestive issues, high blood sugar levels, poor sleep, a whole slew of different health related things by eating late. But for me, what's going to anchor this in for me is why I don't want to eat after 7 p.m. is that I know I sleep better. My mood is better. I make better choices the next day. I have more energy and I have more mental brain power to get things done. And sleep is when my body can repair. It can clean up my toxins, it can reduce inflammation. So I stay healthy through this holiday season, which means, you know, I can get through this holiday season without getting sick if I don't eat too many sweets. And then, okay, I'll just eat them occasionally. So I'm saving my sweets for special occasions because I know sweets make me tired and cranky. I can easily get addicted to it and then eat a lot of it every day, which will cause all sorts of health issues, including trouble sleeping for me, brain fog, and make me prone to get a head cold, which I don't want during the holidays. And I don't need sugar every day. Nobody needs sugar every day. I don't need it as a reward for getting something done. I don't need it as a quick pick me up because it really has more negative effects on me than positive. I don't want those sugar crashes. I don't want that um, sugar headache that I get for eating too much sugar. So by saving sweets for special occasions, and this is for me, I'm not saying this is for you. This is for me, for saving sweets for special occasions, it's more like a treat, right? Something I can savor and I can enjoy for the reason and the season. So, what is your why behind what you are choosing? And you're like, oh gosh, Peggy, I am still so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I hear you. I hear you. I'm going to give you one solution here. There is an easy and free way for you to begin. So if you're overwhelmed, if you feel stuck, if you're unsure of where to start, or you just need something but you don't know what, it's the New You Before the New Year Habit and Health Challenge that is taking place inside the Look Good, Feel Good Facebook group. And I'll put that link in the show notes. Show notes. Otherwise, you go search Look Good, Feel Good Facebook group. Anyone, it's free. Just go ahead and join. The free challenge actually started on Monday, so a couple days ago, but you can grab a friend and you can join at any time. This challenge includes nutrition basics, healthy food swaps and easy recipes, tips, tricks, and health hacks, daily support and accountability, and optional beginner at home workouts. So if you are like me and I get bored with some of mine and I want to try out something new, there's some pre already workouts with along with videos on how to do it. There's this massive community that's doing it together. There's a safe place there to build the habits you can actually keep, and you can find new friends that are maybe having the same health related goal or the same actions that you want to take. You can cause a little group. And guess what? There's weekly giveaways on cool stuff, health related stuff. So, this is just really about real life habits, building one little action at a time. So, start now, start today. Because after doing this daily through the rest of December, you're going to walk into January already consistent, already feeling better, already in a routine, already feeling supported, already ahead of the game. already ahead of where you were last year going into January. So remember, tiny daily habits, those little hinges, swing big doors, which gives you real results. The big doors are the results that we're all looking for. So remember this, you don't need to change much in your life, in one giant leap, but you can change it through small intentional actions done consistently. So start with one thing this week. Get into the Look Good, Feel Good Facebook group. I'll put the link in the show notes. Get in there for inspiration, motivation, and accountability, and then add another thing next week, right? Some little small thing, add another thing next week. So take daily action. There's you check in and you make a comment, and you're entered to win some giveaways every week. So by taking this daily action, you're going to get through the holiday season feeling proud, feeling stronger, feeling hopeful, feeling ready, feeling confident, feeling like a new you before the new year begins.